according to the movements and to attachment we want to have, we then select our insertion sites. We already talked about the bone quality. We know we want to have D2 and D3. What about the mucosa? We know we want to have always to place them in attached mucosa and not the mobile mucosa. So we can easily see the line between these two types. And also pay attention to the frenulum. Mini implants in close contact to these frenulums can get irritation of the soft tissue, inflammation, and that leads us to mini implant failure. So try to stay as much as you can in the attached mucosa or right at the limit between attached and mobile mucosa. Then again, what I said at the importance of the length of the mini screw, we can see, especially on the CT, we can see the length of the bone, the quantity of the bone, and the thickness of the mucosa. And we have to have a ratio of 1:1, one of the mini implant that is in the bone and outside the bone. So measure the thickness of the mucosa and add that to the amount of the mini implant that we want to have in the bone. Okay, and then we know we place them between roots. So how can we see the roots of the teeth easily? I always take a periodontal probe and I glide it very soft on the roots of the teeth, and it will get whitened where the roots are, and the periodontal probe will show me where the depth between these roots are. So they would be like this, and we have the line between the attached and the mobile mucosa, and this gives us the point where we can insert our mini implants. And I go first perpendicular, like Diego said, and I go once or twice, and then I go up when I'm in the maxilla or down when I'm in the mandible, so I can get this 45-degree angle that gives me a good stability in the bone, in the cortical bone. Okay, and of course we have the adjacent structures like nerves or sinuses or fossa. And as for the palatal zone, I like this article from Wilmes and Ludwig Börn. It's about the T-zone, a very good spot for the insertion in the median and paramedian palatal side. And like I said, pterygoid anchorage, and this is a case of Johnny Barbour's. I just used it to place it here to get the red line, but he will talk about this a little bit later. Okay, so just for recap, what we have to pay attention. Bone is the quality and the quantity, and we want to have more cortical bone. Soft tissue, always stay in the attached mucosa and pay attention to the thickness of the mucosa. Teeth, we need to have 1 millimeter of bone around the mini implant, or in other words, 0.5 millimeters between the mini implant and the root of the adjacent teeth. So that gives us 1 millimeter around the mini implant and the adjacent structures. And once we know all these informations, it's much easier to pick out the mini implant in terms of diameter, in terms of length, and even in terms of what type of design of the mini implant do I need to be able to obtain this type of movements that I want.